Hello everyone. This is Shriman Jha from Grade 9 IGCSE DPS International. Today I am going to teach you about trigonometry in IGCSE Additional Maths. So first, let's start off by understanding what trigonometry is exactly. In trigonometry, the trig stands for triangle and metry stands for measure. So in trigonometry, we will be dealing with different applications and how angles and lines are related to each other. So let's see the real life application. Let's say we have a plane flying at an altitude of 4,000 feet and it is descending with an angle of 12 degrees towards an airport. What is the distance from the plane to the airport? For examples like this, we will need the application of trigonometry. So let's start off by understanding the concept of trigonometry, which is sine, cosine, and tangent. So to understand sine, cosine, and tangent, we will have to take a triangle. And let's name this triangle ABC. And the angle we want to calculate is theta. Okay, it is important to note that this is a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle means it has one of its angle being 90 degrees. So if we have an angle we want to calculate as theta, let's first know what is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the line which is opposite to the 90 degrees which is formed in the right angle triangle. Next we have the adjacent. So adjacent is the line which touches one of the vertices and is not the hypotenuse. The next thing we want to find is the opposite. So opposite is the line which is opposite. You get it from the word, which is opposite to the theta which we want to calculate. So now you must be thinking, why am I talking about all of this? Actually, to calculate the sine, cos, tan, which is simply the short forms of sine, cosine, and tangent, we will need these lines. So here we can see sine theta is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Cos theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now the most common way of learning this, which you will hear a lot of times, you don't know how far this acronym can take you in trigonometry. SOH, SOH, sine opposite divided by hypotenuse. Ka, which is cos, is equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Toa, TOA, tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. So now we understand what sine, cosine, and tangent is. But I want to introduce you to a ridiculous concept of this, which is one value of y can give you several values of x. So here I am going to show this using a graph. So here is a sine graph. This is sine is equal to x, right? So if we see this graph, let's take a value of y of 0.5. This value, when plotted on the x, will give you one value here and another value here. So it shows that they are double values. So here is a cos graph. So in the cos graph, we can see that if we take a value of 1 in y-axis will give you 0, 360, which means that the values are repeated. There is double, or there are several values for just one value of x. The same applies for the tan. This is a diagram of a quadrant. There are 4 quadrants here. So the quadrant will help us remember which values of the graphs give us positive and which values of the graph give us negative. So as we can see in the quadrant, the first quadrant, all values give us positive. The second quadrant, only sine gives us positive. The third quadrant, tan gives us positive. And the fourth quadrant gives us, only cos gives us positive. You can easily remember this by starting from the fourth quadrant, which is the bottom, C-A-S-T, cast. That's how I remember to remember the quadrants which give us positive values of the respective functions. So now let's try an example. Find angles between 0 degrees and 360 degrees that have a sine of 0.55. So we know that the value is supposed to be positive. So let's search for the positive value, which will be in the first and the second quadrant. So we can find the first value in the first quadrant as sine inverse of 0.55, which will give me 33.4. So with the 33.4, let's take it to a whole number. Usually they specify it to one decimal place, but for simplicity at first, let's use whole number. So 33 degrees. Now we want to find the value in the second quadrant. How do we do this? I'm going to give you respective formulas for each of the quadrant respective to the first quadrant. So in the second quadrant, if you want to find the value, it will be x, which is the angle in the first quadrant, here 33, x, that will be 180 minus x for the second quadrant. For the third quadrant, it will be 180 plus x. For the fourth quadrant, it will be 360 minus x. So using this formula for the second quadrant, we can calculate it as 180 minus 33, which is 147. So the answer to this is 33 and 147. Now let's try another one, but a little different. Find all angles between 0 to 360 that have a tangent of minus 0.88. So the minus here tells us that the value is going to be negative. So we look at our quadrant and we say that the second and the fourth quadrant will give us values of negative for tangent. So we can do tan inverse of 0.88. We wouldn't consider the negative because the negative is for the final answer. So that will give us 41.3. So that was the value in the first quadrant. Now let's find the value of the second quadrant. So that will be 180 minus 41.3, which will give you 138.7 for the second quadrant. And now for the third quadrant, let's do 360 minus 41.3, which will give you 318.7 degrees. So these are the values which will give us negative 0.88. We can try that. You can try that with the calculator if you want. This was one example which we have done. Now we are going to move on to something different, which is called radians. So what is a radian? A radian is an angle subtended from a center of a circle by an arc that is equal in length to the radius of the circle. As you can see in the diagram, it has a radius of r and an arc length of r as well. So the arc length and the radius are equal. So the angle it is forming, it is a radian. Now let me remind you the formula of arc length. Arc length is theta by 360 times 2 pi r. Now let's add our trigonometry to this. So we can say that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. These are some identities which we have to remember when working with radians. So pi radian is equal to 180 degrees. 1 radian is equal to 180 degrees divided by pi. And theta radians is equal to 180 theta degrees divided by pi. So these are some values, identities we should always remember when working with radians. So we will be working with radians when we come to further trigonometry questions. Let's now move on to other trigonometrical functions. So let's say we have 1 by cos A, like you can see on the screen. This is equal to another trigonometric function called sec A. Let's say we have 1 by sine A. This will give you cosec A. 1 by tan A will give you cotangent A. So these are some other values. Now to calculate for this, you convert the cot, cosec and sec back into sine, cos and tangent by doing 1 by whatever the value it represents. Then we can continue. Let us consider the example here. Cot x is equal to 2. The range is from 0 to 360 x. So we can write cot as 1 by tan x is equal to 2. So the tan x is equal to 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.5. Now because it is a positive tan, then the angle will be in the first quadrant and the third quadrant. So we can do tan inverse of 0.5, which will give us 26.6. Now to find the value in the third quadrant, we add this value by 180, which will give us 206.6. So these are the two values of cot x is equal to 2. This is one of the examples. You can do the same thing with other examples. Let's consider one more before we move on. This is a much more complicated one. 5 plus cosec x is equal to 0. Now we can conclude that the 5 can go to the other side, which will give us cosec x is equal to minus 5. So cosec x can be written as 1 by sine x is equal to minus 5. So 1 by sine x, so we can convert it into sine x is equal to 1 by minus 5. So 1 by minus 5 is equal to minus 0.2, which will mean that the values of this are in the third and the fourth quadrant. So we can do sine inverse of 0.2, which will give me 11.5. That is for the first quadrant, but we want to calculate for the third and the fourth. So 180 plus the answer we got, which will give me 191.5. Now we do the same thing for the fourth quadrant. So fourth quadrant is 360 minus the answer we got for the first quadrant, which will give me 348.5. So these are the ways we have got our answers for cosec and other trigonometrical functions. Due to time constraints, I will continue in the next video. In the next video, we will be learning about trigonometrical identities, trigonometry with radians, and further trigonometrical problems. Thank you.